Hello students, welcome to my channel iSmile Academy. Today we'll be doing semiconductors part 5. This is the first question. Which logic gate with inputs A and B performs the same operation as that performed by the following circuit? So we are given this circuit, A and B are the inputs, we have two diodes and the output connected to a resistor. Okay, so because we have two inputs, we have four combinations. So I will write these combinations here: A, then we have B, and then we have output. Let us take output as Y. So the four combinations are 0 0 0 1 1 0 and finally 1 1. So what happens when we give 0 0 inputs? Okay, so 0 0, because inputs are 0 0, so both the diodes, they won't conduct, both go in reverse bias, so neither this conducts, neither this conducts, so output is 0. So here we have 0. In the second case, what happens? One of the input is 0 while the other is 1. So this is 0 and this is 1. So because of this 0, this will not conduct, but because this is 1, this will conduct, and we get output as 1. So here we have 1. In the third case, the same thing occurs as the second one. The difference is here this is 1, this is 0. So this will conduct, this won't conduct, and because this is conducting, we get output as 1. So this is 1. And the final case, both are 1 1. So here this is 1, both are 1 1. So this will conduct and output is 1. Okay. So here in this case you can see this truth table, it represents the working of a OR gate, because for OR gate 0 0 is 0 and rest all are 1. So this is the actual answer for our case. So next we come to question number 2. The voltage gain of an amplifier with 9% negative feedback is 10. The voltage gain without feedback will be. So we are given a amplifier which is having 9% negative feedback. So let us write this negative feedback fraction as beta. Okay, so beta is 9%. Okay, 9% means it is 0.09. Second is we are given the amount of negative feedback. Okay, the gain with negative feedback is 10. Okay, so what we want to find is AV. Okay, we want to find AV. What is AV? Okay, so we have a formula for AVF. We know the formula, which is gain with feedback is equal to AV, gain without feedback, upon 1 plus beta AV. But we are interested in finding AV, so we can have we can convert this formula such that we get AV. Okay, so what is AV in terms of AVF is this one, we can check it. Okay, upon 1 minus beta AVF. Okay, so now we will calculate this. So what is AVF? AVF is actually 10. Okay, so 10 upon 1 minus 0.09 times 10. So we are getting this here. Okay, then 10 upon 0.09 into 10 is 0.9. So we have 0.9. So what we have is 10 divided by 0.1, which is equal to 100. Okay, so in this case the answer is 100, which we have calculated. This is the answer. Okay, you can check it. Next we come to question number 3. Which logic gate with inputs A and B performs the same operation that performed with the following circuit? So we are given this circuit, two diodes are connected to AB, and we are connecting VCC to the diodes to the P region, and A and B, they are connected to the N region. So here also what we do, we make a truth table, because we have two inputs, so we can have four combinations. I'll write it here: A, then B, and then output is Y. Okay, so first is 0 0, second is 0 1 1 0, and finally 1 1. Okay, so if we give this input, both inputs as 0 0, both the inputs are 0 0, so what happens in this case? VCC is connected to P and A and B both are connected to 0 0, so this diode and this diode both are forward bias. Now when they are forward bias, this diode, both the diodes will conduct, and because of their conduction this output will become 0. So for this case the output is 0. Okay, for the first case. Now for the second case, okay, second and third both are similar, you can see here. So in second case this is 0, this is 1. Okay, so this diode goes in reverse bias, it does not conduct, but this diode is still in forward bias, so this will conduct, and any of the diode conducts, the output becomes 0. So this is 0, so this actually output is 0. Okay, now in the third case also, okay, what we see in the third case, when the input is 1 0, this is 1, this is 0. So in this case what happens is this diode will not conduct, it goes in reverse bias, but this diode conducts, and therefore any of the diode conducts, output becomes 0, so this becomes 0. The fourth case, when both the inputs are 1 1, so when both the inputs are 1 1, what happens, this is 1, this is 1, both will both of the diodes, they are in reverse bias mode, so this will also not conduct, this will also not conduct, so this VCC output will get is 1 because of this, so output is 1. Now you can see here this characteristics 0 0 is 0, 0 1 is 0, 1 0 is 0, and 1 1 is 1. This represents AND gate, because for AND gate output is high when both all the inputs are high, so this the answer of this is AND gate. Okay, next we come to question number 4. A system of 4 gates is set up as shown. It represents dash gates, so we need to find this system of gates represents what working of which gate. Okay, so these are 4 NAND gates connected in a particular way. So first I will write the truth table of a NOR gate. Okay, so because we have all the gates are 2 inputs, so 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. So for a NOR gate output is high when all the inputs are low. Okay, so 0 0 is 1 and rest all are 0. So we must remember this table for the working of a NOR gate. Okay, so this is the table for a NOR gate. We must remember this table. This will be used for our present case. Okay, I am just drawing it for our reference. So let us come to our actual case. Okay, so here we have 2 inputs, so I will write this inputs as A, then B, and we write the output as Y. Okay, so here first case both our inputs are 0 0, so this is 0 and this is 0, so this 0 0, okay, as seen here, 0 0 will make this as 1. Okay, this is 1. Now for this particular gate, this 0 it comes here, so this is 0, and this 1 comes here, so this is 1, again this is 1 and this is 0. Okay, so this 0 comes here. So for a NOR gate, when for 0 1 output is 0. Okay, so this is 0 and again this is also 0, and when both the inputs are 0 0, output is 1. Okay, so this is 1, so for this case output becomes 1. Okay, so this is what we get. Okay, now in the second case, okay, what we observe in the second case is we have this is 0, other input is 1. Okay, so this is 0, this is 1. Okay, so input is 0 and this is 1, so this 0 1, okay, because if in one input is 0, other is 1, we have output as 0, so this is 0. Now this 0 and this 0 they come here, so this is 0, this is 0. For a NOR gate, when both the inputs are 0 0, output becomes 1, and this is 0, this is 1, so this 0 comes here and this 1 comes here, so 1 0 will make this as 0. So any input is 1, output becomes 0, so this is 0. So for the second case we have 0. It can be shown that as we have done, because both are almost symmetric, this circuit is almost symmetric, so we have for even for 1 0 we will get output as 0. Okay, now the last case we will directly observe the last case. Okay, so what happens for the last case when both the inputs are 1 1. Okay, so this is 1 and this is also 1. So for a NOR gate, when both the inputs are 1 1, output becomes 0, so this becomes 0, this 1 comes here and this 0 comes here, this 0 comes here, this 1 comes here. So 1 0 input, this makes this as 0, 1 0 this makes as this 0, and when both the inputs are 0 0, you can see output is 1. So this is 1. So for 1 1, output becomes 1. So what does this gate represents? What does this represents? What we see is output is high when even number of inputs are high. So 0 0 is 1, 1 1 is 1, and rest all are 0. So this represents the working of XNOR gate. Okay, so this represents the working of XNOR. So next question number 5, the minimum number of NAND gates required to use it as a AND gate. So here NAND gate, it is called as a universal gate, because by using NAND gate any other gate can be constructed. Even NOR gate is also a universal gate, because we can construct any other gate using NOR gate also. But for the present case, what we are given is how many number of gates are required, minimum number of gates are required to convert a NAND gate to a AND gate. So here we can see, I will just draw the diagram. Okay, so here this is a NAND gate. Okay, so here how it works as a NAND gate or AND gate. So this input is A, this is B. Okay, so what we get because of NAND gate is A dot B the whole bar, that is the output of a NAND gate. Now a NAND gate which is short, input is short circuit, it works as a NOT gate. Okay, so this what we get output as A dot B bar. Okay, and it again makes a bar here, so it cancels out the previous one. So what we have is A dot B. So then the minimum number of gates which are required to convert a NAND gate to AND gate is number is 2. Okay, now I will just write some notes here. So for converting a NAND gate to NOT gate, NAND to NOT, we require one NAND gate. For converting a NAND to AND gate, okay, we require two NAND gates. For converting a NAND gate to OR gate, number of gates required are 3, and to convert a NAND gate to NOR gate, the number of gates required are 4. Okay, so remember this, it might come in exam. We have just discussed NAND as AND gate. It might also come in exam how to use NAND as OR or NOR. So these are the number of gates which are required. Okay, so for our case the answer is 2. Next we come to question number 6. The logic circuit shown below has the input waveforms A and B as shown. Pick out the correct output waveform. So we are given A and B. Okay, so this A and B inputs are applied to a NOT gate and they are applied to a NOR gate. So it is better if you can solve this first. So this input is A, so this here what we get is A bar, and here we have this is B bar. Okay, this A bar and B bar are input connected to a NOR gate. So what we have is A bar plus B bar the whole bar. This is the output of this NOR gate. Okay, if input is AB, we have A plus B the whole bar, but because inputs are A bar and B bar, this is the output. We apply De Morgan's law to this. So applying De Morgan's law, what will happen? Break the sign, break the line and change the sign. So what we have is A dot B. So the output of this is actually A dot B. This is more easier way to solve. Okay, instead of getting the waveform for each and every case, so we directly write this A dot B. Okay, this is what we get. So let us come to the problem. So for this case, for the first case, input is this A is 0 and B is also 0. So when both the inputs are 0 0, output is 0. Okay, so this output, I am just writing the output here below, so then we can compare with the waveform. In the second case, A is 0, B is 1. For AND gate, output is high when both the inputs are high, but here one of the input is 0, so this is 0. In the second case, this is 1, this is 0. Okay, so 1 0 is again 0. For the fourth case, this is 1, this is 1. For both the inputs are 1, output is 1. Then this is 0, this is 0, again we get 0. This is 0, this is 1, then again 0. So here this one is 1 and rest all are 0. So you can see here this one, this waveform, this is 0, again 0, again 0, then we are having it as 1, then again 0 0. So this is the proper representation of the output. Okay, 0 means the wave is going lower, 1 means it is going higher. Okay, so 0 is this one and this is 1, so this is 0, this is 1, so same representation we are using, and this is the how we get the output. Okay, so answer is D in this case. Next we come to question number 7. An oscillator is nothing but an amplifier with. Okay, so first of all, what is the meaning of an oscillator? So oscillator is a circuit which converts DC to AC. Rectifier converts AC to DC, but oscillator it converts AC to DC. Okay, so in an oscillator we have a feedback. First feedback is, of course, in this case feedback is positive. Okay, so oscillator circuits has 3 components. Okay, one is the tank circuit, then we have an amplifier, and we have a feedback network. So tank circuit, it generates the waveform. Okay, feedback, okay, and amplifier. So the feedback in oscillator is such that the feedback is always positive. Notice when you have positive feedback, say if we have this is the amplifier. Okay, let us assume this is the amplifier. Okay, and here we have the feedback network. Okay, so this input, okay, what we are giving here, okay, what we get is 180 phase difference. Okay, this is given to the feedback network. We apply this to the feedback network. Okay, then feedback, it again generates a phase shift of 180. So this feedback, okay, if we compare these two waveforms, they are in phase. So this is the amplifier and this is the feedback. So in case of oscillator, the feedback which is given is positive feedback. Now next is question number 8. To use a transistor as an amplifier, okay, what should be done? The emitter base should be forward bias and collector base should be reverse bias, or no biasing voltage, or both junctions should be forward and both should be reverse. So remember students, for a transistor, for the proper functioning of a transistor, okay, this whatever we have the 3 regions, okay, let us assume this is emitter, okay, this is base, and this is collector. So this, suppose that this is emitter, base and collector. So emitter base region should always be forward bias, whether we have a PNP or a NPN transistor, it should always be forward bias, and this should be always reverse bias, whether it is C or any other configuration. So the answer is A in this case. Okay, so that's all for today's session. So all the best students, thanks for watching.